Teresa, I'm sure like most mums-to-be are thinking about booties and cute little baby names, etc., not poo samples. How do you think women are going to react to this? I mean, it's kind of off the yuckometer, isn't it?
I know, why would you add that to the list? But I don't think it's going to be a problem, actually. It's an easy test to collect. Mm-hmm. We all poo. And it's very easy to carry out. It's not messy. And I think the young women of today are interested in their health and will take part without any problem.
So, Naomi, you can tell us, how will the study actually work for the mums and babies taking part? Can you give us a kind of poo-by-poo breakdown? I mean, how many poo samples are needed from these 4,000 mums and their babies? And where are you going to store them? It's going to give a new twist to the Tupperware party, isn't it?
So I think it's important to note, first off, that the study is actually split into two parts. So there'll be 2,000 women in the initial phase, which is strictly observational. And the second 2,000 will be in that interventional stage, once we know what we're actually looking for. It's going to be 22 to 33 months. It's quite a big commitment depending on where the couple are and when they get pregnant during their initial baseline period. Over the course of their actual participation within the study, we'll have 35,000 stool samples alone. That doesn't take into account that there is microbiomes in your mouth. So we'll be taking an oral sample. There's also a microbiome that lives on your skin, and we're going to be taking that as well. We'll also be taking vaginal samples throughout pregnancy and in the postpartum period as well, because we all know that the vaginal microbiome actually impacts on the health outcomes, not only for that mother, but for her child, not just while they're being grown, but throughout their entire life they will be affected by what has happened while they're being pregnant. Now, I would really like to point out, because every woman will think, oh my God, this is another thing that I'm now responsible for, but it's actually, the microbiome is really important for partners as well. In fact, the microbiome of the partner and the sperm and what happens at the time of conception can ultimately impact on the health of that child too. So men out there, it is also up to you to help us out here. We're going to be having a really large recruitment campaign with this as well. MothersBabies, the foundation, is helping us out with that. You'll be able to register via their website if you'd like to take part. The novelty with this study is it is preconception, so we don't have a captive audience like any of the other trials. We can't just go into an antenatal clinic and get people at their booking visit. We want people before they've started to we want people while they're trying to conceive, but we don't want them at the point of conception, because your microbiome does change before you're pregnant and then throughout the different stages of pregnancy. We will then be following you throughout your trimester 1, 2 and 3 checks. Everything that we've done with this study, we've made it easier for you. We want to be able to line this up when you would have your regular antenatal care, and then that way it's not an impact on you and your lifestyle. We'll be taking samples of, like I said, stool, vaginal, skin and oral. There'll also be a bunch of validated questionnaires that we'll also need you to fill out. We want to know what sort of physical activity you do, how much exercise you undertake. Are you on any medications during your pregnancy, and if you are, why? Have you gotten sick? Do you need to take some antibiotics? Are you taking a probiotic? We want to know what you're doing and how this impacts on the health of yourself and your baby. And then in the postnatal period, you're already going to be busy enough. So what we've done as well is we've made sure that we've set up all of your postnatal visits to coincide with your well baby checks. There'll be one at your 1 week visit, then at 6 weeks, and then at your 4 and 6 month visits, and finally at 12 months.